Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SEO BS, SEO bullshit. Now in this episode we're going to talk about, is SEO a scam? Is it a scam, baby? Is search engine optimization a scam? I want you to ask yourself that question, kind of secretly answer it. If you have experience with search engine optimization, experience with SEO, digital marketing, do you feel like it's a scam? Do you feel like you get results from it if you own a business or if you're an entrepreneur like myself? Even going back myself, I'm not going to give you a great big history of the Chad, but anyway, going back, I've always kind of been an entrepreneur, very, very young. My family owned a company. We owned a martial arts school. Going fast forwarding, my dad owned a big rig company, and I've kind of led that entrepreneur spirit throughout my life as well. Of course, I've been an employee and stuff like that. I've been an SEO director, digital media, worked in digital media companies and so forth, and all that jazz. But anyway. Is SEO a scam? It's a very interesting topic today. And what made me think about this topic, what kind of made me think about is SEO a scam, is I have an influencer friend. And I was talking to her a little while ago now, and we really got on a topic of, talking fast, almost like passed out there. But we got on a topic of marketing in general, because as an influencer, they're always marketing. They're doing digital marketing and all this stuff. So we got on a topic of marketing, digital marketing, and then that kind of led into SEO, because of course SEO is very popular nowadays. So once we brought up SEO, she very quickly said, no, SEO is a scam, Chad. She's like, I know you work, you're an SEO director, you work in SEO, you're a marketing guy, but SEO is a scam. I kind of came at it like this, that, I said, I agree with you. Okay, if you're asking me, is SEO a scam, I would agree with you on one point. I would answer it kind of yes and no. And let's kind of bark down this journey of why would I say yes, that SEO is a scam. Now, my reasoning where I would answer it yes really comes from marketing agencies. And I hate to pick on marketing agencies here and digital media agencies and SEO agencies, but this is the main corporate here. The last maybe like 5 years the marketing agencies is what kind of gotten SEO very popular. And really kind of what's kind of going on. The popularity came from marketing agencies and selling these services. SEO has always been around since the internet, but it's more been kind of private. You were really hired as an SEO guy. You were really hired by a company. You did the company's SEO for the company. It's a full-time job, 40 hours a week. That's what you're doing is SEO. It's not a 20-minute job. You get what I'm saying? So that's what's kind of happening in digital media companies and SEO companies and digital marketing companies when they sell packages and they sell SEO services. What you have to understand is a marketing company is a business. Okay, how does a marketing company make money? How do they make money? They make money from adding on additional clientele. That's how they make money, because they're charging clients. So again, if the company wants to make more money, they have to increase their clientele. That's how they make money. If I want to make more money, well, then I got to manage more people. Okay, now when you bring on more clientele, when you're trying to scale your company, you're trying to scale your services, what happens when you try to scale a service? You're trying to scale a product, and your product is SEO. Your product is doing work in digital marketing and SEO for your clients. What happens? You cut corners. Okay, you cut corners. That's bottom line. Meaning you cut corners, you do a crappy job, or you're not even doing SEO. And that's where I would answer yes if SEO is a scam. It's not that SEO is a scam per se. It's that the job isn't being done by these companies. The job isn't being done by these digital media agencies. These SEO services, they're not doing it. They're fooling you. Okay? Because remember what I said before, SEO is a full-time job. If I was going to do SEO for you and SEO for your company, SEO for your small business, you would hire me full-time. It's a full-time job. It's not a job that I come in and I work 20 minutes a week on, like these digital media agency services are doing. If I can speak English. Okay, I've worked, again, I'm kind of an insider. I work with digital media agencies, marketing agencies. I work for marketing firms and so forth and so forth. So I know kind of where they're cutting corners and how they're doing it. And they're on SEO side, they're just not doing it. Bottom line. Okay, that's where I would answer that yes, SEO is a scam. The reason why it is a scam is because marketing companies just are not doing it. So if you have a marketing company right now and you feel like they're not doing it, usually your gut feeling is right. Okay. Now let's kind of go into the way I answered my friend, as the influencer friend of mine, that, is SEO a scam? With all my experience and stuff like that, I would say no. Okay, SEO isn't a scam. Now, if you don't know what SEO is, SEO is search engine optimization. SEO is how your website ranks organically in their search engines. Search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, so forth and so forth. Okay, people can find you organically, not through paid ads. That's SEO, or search engine optimization. So on the forefront, I would say no, 100%. SEO is not a scam at all, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. And this is where marketing agencies are kind of dropping the ball, because what they're doing is that they're trying to give you reports, and they're trying to say your rankings increasing, but it's really hard to track SEO. And let me give you an example that, if you're trying to rank for low-end keywords, it might take you 3 or 4 months, and that's not even guaranteed for low-end keywords. Okay, when I give you a 3 or 4 month, schedule, that it's going to take time to rank for that, I guess it's not even guaranteed. 3 or 4 months is kind of average. So then if it's if it's high domain, a high authority keyword according to SEO, it might take you a year to start ranking for, harder keywords. And that's not even guaranteed. Okay, so imagine if you're a client of mine, or you have a marketing agency, and they're meeting with you every week, or they're meeting with you once a month, and you want to see what they're doing and see how your ranking's improving. I don't want to say it's impossible, but what are they really showing you every single week, or bi-weekly, or every month, when you're not going to really notice stuff until 3-4 months down the road. So with SEO, with me being an SEO guy, a business guy, that really reports you're going to want to track every quarter and kind of see how you're producing. Okay, now that's way different from paid ads. Paid ads, if you run Facebook ads or Google ads, well, I can print reports every single week and show you measurements and show you metrics and stuff like that every single week. Okay, but that's not SEO. SEO is another game. It's another game changer. Okay, but one thing I would say with SEO, it's real work. It takes time. Okay, it's a full-time job. It's not, it's not a little skill that we have in a marketing agency that, they work 20 minutes on your stuff every single week. That's why when you hire a marketing agency, you're not seeing great improvements, because one, they're not doing it. They're trying to scale their company. They're trying to cut corners, and they're not putting enough time into it. This is bottom line. If they are doing it, they're not putting enough time into it, for you to get a result and get result over time, or they're just lying to you, telling you what you want to hear. Okay, now this is the whole thing with this channel, is I'm not telling you what you want to hear. Now you could believe me, not believe me, or do what you want with the information, but I'm here to tell you I want to get you results. That's bottom line. Okay, if I'm an entrepreneur just like you, I own a business just like you. So one of the things I've learned a long time ago through a mentor of mine is that if I tell you what you want to hear, I damage you. I hurt your business. Bottom line, if I come in as a consultant and I just tell you what you want to hear, I cripple you. I cripple your business. I make your business more difficult. But if I'm honest with you, no matter if you like it or not, if I'm honest with you, that helps you. Okay, takes you farther. So now let me show you some stuff. I'm on my computer. I want to do a share screen with you. That's why I'm on my computer. I'm in my office and stuff like that, because I wanted to show some stuff with you. And one of the things how companies kind of trick you a little bit when we talk about SEO, it's easy to fool you, because when you talk about SEO and search engine optimization, right now on one of my blogs, the blog is SEO a scam? Okay, I'm not going to read the blog to you because we're talking about it, but this picture I kind of love, because when we look at this picture, one of the things with SEO they break it into broad categories. They break it into on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and technical SEO. Now, what most people don't understand about these three broad categories encompasses the whole digital media agency. It encompasses everything around digital media. Everything we do online is inside one of these three categories in SEO. That's why it's so easy. There's so much information in here. It's so easy to fool you. It's so easy to take advantage. It's so easy for these companies to take advantage of you. Get that out of my way. So when we talk about on-page elements, like on-page SEO, you can see a lot of stuff goes into it. Now, on-page elements, all it refers to is it's on page, your pages of your website. So you're looking at content, you're looking at quality, research, words, engagement, freshness. Basically, freshness is it your own content? Is it your own creativity, usability, user-friendliness of your website, your pages and stuff like that? It goes into HTML code, like your title tags, your descriptions, your meta descriptions, your headers, your meta tags and alt tags. Alt tags are from your pictures, your media library and stuff like that. It goes into your your system, how the robots crawl your site, your page load time, your page speed, and so forth and so forth. I don't want to read this to you, but because you can see it, but a lot of elements go inside on-page SEO, okay, versus off-page SEO. Now, off-page SEO, this is why I love this picture. That's why I'm showing it to you, because I can easily rattle stuff off. Now, off-page SEO is links. Okay, now we hear a lot about nowadays the popularity of backlinking. Most of the time, the whole popularity of backlinking as an SEO person is it's bled too much. It's you want people to follow you that really follow you. If they really follow you, it comes from a high authority site. It's going to boost your SEO. What most people do with these backlinks is they try to pay for links. Google will penalize you faster than anything if they find out you're paying for links. Then, and another thing too is that low quality links. Low quality links don't help your SEO at all. So you really want to look for organic links, companies or bloggers, famous bloggers, whatever, or that's actually linking organically to your business or to your website. One of the things they look at, as basic off-page element is trust, authority, history, SSL, if you have an SSL certificate and so forth. Social, with social media and so forth. This one I don't like very much, so I'm going to scroll down here and give you some more off-page. Now, off-page, look at it. Look at the figure right here. Now, with off-page, you're going into blogs. Even though your blog is connected to your website, your blog is considered an off-page element. Any type of videos, if you're using Vimeo or YouTube, content strategy, social media, the whole social media platforms fall under off-page SEO. So does, and I'm going to show you something really unique and really good a little bit in a couple minutes here, is email marketing falters under off-page SEO. So when you hire a marketing agency and they do your email marketing, okay, they have to do it. That's something you can really see, but that's really included in the SEO. Marketing agencies writing emails for you, and articles and so forth and so forth. Now with technical SEO, don't let it scare you. Don't let these terms scare you as, Chad, I'm not a tech person. Most of this stuff you can easily figure out if you kind of know someone to kind of walk you through it and explain it to you and show you how to do it. You can easily do it, a lot of this stuff. But with technical SEO kind of blends up to on page, but it looks more at the code. So a technical SEO, it's looking at your SSL, if your site is secured, the mobile friendliness of your website. Being mobile friendly is huge now because most people have mobile devices. Broken links, if you have any broken links on your website, structured data, your domain version, your page speed, your site maps, your robot text, website structure. Website structure, is huge. Website structure is kind of how I explain SEO. Website structure is like if you own a house, you build a house, you want a strong foundation that your house is built on. That's website structure, is your strong foundation of your website. 301 redirects and 404 error codes. This is really good graph of what technical SEO is. Don't let it scare you. I mean, if you don't have no experience with this, a lot of it, it's kind of scary for people, but it's really not. It's very easy to fix, once somebody shows you how to fix it. And you can do it. You can really do it yourself if people walk you through it. Now, one of the things is, one of the last pictures I'm going to show you here is when we look at SEO, when we look at, on page, off page, and technical SEO, that they all interlink together. Okay, this is why I love this graph. I love this picture, because if you're going to do one, you're going to do off page. If you're going to do off page, you're going to do technical. So, this is where it kind of gets crazy in digital marketing agencies, because if I'm going to do on page SEO, okay, if I'm going to run a site audit of your site, and one of the things is when you run a site audit, that's just basic SEO. In experience. But when you run a site audit, when I'm on your page fixing stuff, well, that's going to lead me into technical SEO, and that's going to lead me into off-page SEO. They all work together. So it's not one is more important than the other. They all intertwine. It all works together as one unit. And that's why I want you to walk away with everything works together as one unit. But one of the things I really want to show you is this in this training, or in this video, this episode of SEO BS. It's not so much how to do your SEO. It's basically explaining the kind of the elements of it. One of the things really unique I really want to show you here is this is actually from a company I used to work with. This is their SEO packages. I blacked out everything so you don't know and stuff like that. There's no need to share their information and share where it came from, because I don't work there anymore, and there's a reason for it. But anyway, when you look at SEO packages, and I love this because in this SEO package, because in this 4 SEO packages, is because this is how easy it is to fool you. This is how easy it is of marketing agencies to fool you that they're doing your SEO for you. And they're cutting corners. It's just plainly just not doing it. And when you look at this package, I'll go through it with you, and then we'll kind of wrap this up and get rocking and get rolling here. That, in their low packages, they charge $600. Okay, that's the lowest package. For $600, they ran an SEO audit plus an action plan. They run Google Analytics reports, set up Google Webmaster Tools, and locate technical problems. Really with all this, you're looking at most you got probably like 30 minutes of work. But this is all reports. You might not even have it. It takes 10 minutes to run an SEO report, maybe 5 minutes. And nowadays with these SEO tools, you're printing reports off of these SEO tools. So that's all they're doing. It's not like they're sitting down and putting together an action plan, what you need to do. They're just printing reports off these tools. They're just pre-generated reports. So this right here is really just, I would never pay $600 for someone to run an audit for me and do all this stuff. This is just 30 minutes of work for $600. This is just, to me, this is a scam. Now we jump over to the $1,200 a month one, and this is one they call competitive. For $1,200 a month. Okay, so let's go through this anyway. For $1,200 a month, they run an SEO audit, an action plan. They run Google Analytics, set up Google Webmaster Tools, locate technical problems. They do monthly reporting and support, a competitor SEO analysis. But I kind of laugh at these because most SEO tools have a competitor analysis inside, so it's just a report. It's not something that they're really searching themselves, or they're using like SpyFu, and most of them have a competitor analysis tool in there that just, you can either type in your competitors or it will search competitors and you can print out a report. So a lot of this stuff is done pretty quick. Keyword competition research, generate list of keywords. For $1,200 a month, every single month, like, this is just insane to me. This doesn't tell me that they're even doing SEO. They're just all reports for $1,200 a month. This is how agencies, some agencies I interview for, even small agencies, they have 80 clients and they have a very lean team. You have to understand this. They have 80 clients, they have a very lean team, and I'm not even going inside the team yet, that to manage 80 clients, You have to cut corners. You have to scale. The work isn't being done. And on top of these agencies, most of these agencies hire interns, college interns, people with only 1 or 2 years of experience. So you have to look at it that way too. Like, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you own your business. Okay, you should be taking what's the best advice you should have? What's the best advice I can give you? The reason why you want to come to me is because I'm an entrepreneur. I run a company myself. Okay, I've been doing it for 20 years. Okay, so you think my advice will be a little bit better because I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in businesses, built businesses, I've lost businesses, I've lost money and stuff like that. But yeah, you go to these marketing agencies and they give your file to someone who has 1 year of experience, or they give your file to an intern. This happens way more often than you think. Scary stuff, but that's what happens. Okay, so this $1,200, I mean, what are they doing for $1,200 a month? Every single month, you're paying them $1,200 a month. What are they doing? This stuff right here, hardly anything. Now let's go back up to their most popular plan was almost $2,000 a month, 1950. So let's go through this 1950 really fast. They run an SEO audit and action plan, run Google Analytics reports, set up Google Webmaster Tools, locate technical problems. That's this locate. Well, I want you to see here, this locate technical problems is inside your SEO audit. Okay, your SEO audit's going to do this for you. It's not like something separate. You know what I mean? Monthly reporting and support, competitor SEO analysis. Again, SpyFu. All these SEO audits have a competitor. Most of them have a competitor analysis. Keyword competition research, competitive list of keywords, same thing as 1200. Now you get into a content consultation plus management, schedule and manage your social media. So look at what they're doing. Now they're going off to off-page SEO. Okay, we want to manage your social media. So for $19.50 a month, they start, okay, we're going to manage your social media. 2 posts per month. Holy crap. They're going to do 2 posts per month, which they just go inside a scheduling tool for social media, spend 10 minutes to schedule your post, and that's it. That's it. That's crazy. Okay, quarterly press releases, Google AdWords setup, AdWords management. Now they're getting you into paid media. Okay, now they're getting you now they're kind of getting you offside. Now they're kind of out of SEO or out of organic. They're getting in you paid media. Now, in my opinion, when companies do this and they get you inside paid media down here, it's because they're going to use their paid media reports to make it look like they're doing your SEO. Because remember what I said in the beginning of this is that your paid media is where you're doing Facebook ads, Google ads, and stuff like that. That's where you can generate weekly reports and it looks like you're doing all this stuff. But you can't do that for SEO because it takes too long, too much time. So what starts happening is, in these types of packages, what they end up doing is they end up doing this every month. They end up running your Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever type of ads you're doing. And that's where the work is coming inside. That's what they're kind of focused on. Then they can generate reports and nothing's being done. And most of these agencies, they run your SEO audit and they just milk you. They just milk you every single month doing your SEO, but they're not doing anything. I don't see anything in here. And I work for this company, and that's why I quit, but they weren't doing anything for their clients with SEO. And I was the SEO director. They're not doing anything. It's all reports for $2,000 a month. It's all reports. Makes no sense to me. Now they had this custom plan. This custom plan was $1,500 a month. And this is kind of where you kind of picked and choose what you wanted. Where for $1,500 a month, they would still run an SEO audit, but you had this custom stuff. Now, this custom stuff, I'm not saying that doesn't deal with SEO. It's considered off-page SEO, but custom content creation, email campaigns, web design and hosting, Facebook, your Facebook store integration, your Instagram store integration. I mean, it really doesn't really have that much to do with SEO, in my opinion, because this is where they kind of trick you. Because if you want email campaigns, they do their work through email campaigns, because that's something you could directly look at and say, hey, you're not writing my emails. Where are my email campaigns? Where are they? How many emails are you writing per month, and so forth and so forth. So that's where, most of the time is taking up. They're kind of doing what they have to do, because you're going to be able to tell tell right away they're not doing it. So they're going to do your email campaigns. They 100%, they're going to schedule your social media posts and stuff like that. But that's directly, you can see that things are being done. But all this other stuff is just mumbo jumbo, in my opinion, because you don't know. You don't know because you don't know enough about SEO. You don't know enough about what questions should I be asking to make sure this stuff's being done. And there's too many ways to fool you lots of times. Through that and all that stuff when you're looking at this type of chart. Now, one of the last things I want to point out to you and kind of give you some feedback and kind of let you know what's going on. One of the things when you go to a marketing agency, and you have to understand, like I'm gonna give simple math here. Let's use this example: $1,500 a month. So let's assume you're paying $1,500 a month to a marketing agency, digital media company, SEO package, and so forth. Okay, this is what goes on. This is the questions you want to ask, because businesses assume, small businesses assume that you pay a marketing agency $1,500 a month, and you assume that they're working on your stuff for 20 hours every single week, or they're working on your stuff 40 hours every single week. That's what we assume what's going on, but that's not what happens. And one of the questions you have to ask is, okay, for $1,500 a month, okay, how many hours per week are you working on my stuff for $1,500? Because lots of times you're going to sign a contract and you want to pull out the fine print. Because most of these agencies, for example, this agency I worked for $1,500 a month, they charged you $150 per hour. Okay, now do the math. If they charged you $150 per hour and you paid them $1,500 a month, that means they're only going to work on your stuff for 10 hours. 10 hours for the whole month. They're not working on your stuff for 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, 10 hours a week. They're only giving you, they're thinking like an attorney, okay? You pay them a $1,500 a month retainer and they charged $150 per hour. So that's 10 hours. Now, it even gets crazier than that, because even with a COO of this company, that even a COO came to me and said, well, if you can do it, if you can do 10 hours, but if you can do it in 2 hours, well, that's great, Chad. Means they're scaring their company. They're not doing the work. What's this world coming to nowadays with these companies, with these marketing agencies? They just want to scam people, take advantage of people. So that's the question you want to ask. How much time are you working on the fine print? What do you really charge per hour? Because that's how they're going to deduct it from your $1,500. That's why when I look at this and I look at all these reports they're doing, they're taking that off of time spent. And of course they're a company. Of course they're gonna. You don't know how long it takes to run an SEO audit. If you don't know, I could say, well, I spent 3 hours on it. But me as an SEO person, I know I spent 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So they're exaggerating how much time they spend on your stuff because it's all reports, and all these reports are generated from SEO tools. Okay, they're not sitting down and looking. They're just pulling it from SEO tools. Okay, that they don't have your best interest at heart, and that this is where it flips back to, this is where the whole scam comes in. SEO is a scam. This is how they scam you, because you don't know. And that's the main question I would be asking, not to kind of repeat myself, but how do they really charge? What do they really charge per hour? Because once 10 hours, okay, when I work with this company, most companies are the same way. Most marketing companies are the same way. They spend more time creating these reports. They spend more time meeting with you every week or once or bi-weekly or once a month. Okay, all that time is deducted from the 10 hours. So you kind of have to beware, because that's where all the time is spent. They might give you 10 hours, but they're not doing your SEO over 10 hours. They might do your SEO for 30 minutes, but the rest of 9.5 hours are eaten up by reports, you sending them emails, them answering emails, and them meeting with you every week or bi-weekly. That's where all the time is taken up, because they're deducting it from your retainer of $1,500 a month. So you have to know this stuff. You have to know realistically, what are they doing? And at that point, if you have a marketing agency, you have to micromanage them. Okay. Now, two things happen when you micromanage. When you micromanage, either it drives you nuts and insane because you're wasting your time. You can't move on and do something else while someone else is working for you. You have to micromanage them. So once you start micromanaging, you're either going to fire them because it wastes your time, or they're going to fire you as a client because now all of a sudden you're on their ass, and you're wasting their time because now all of a sudden they have to do your work. And that if they have to do your work and have to give you all this time, well, you're not making money for them, because they could go out and they can go out and help 4, 5, 6 other clients rather than helping you as a one client. That's what you have to understand. But anyway, my friends, that's really it. Let's wrap up this episode. I know I kind of want to show you some screen stuff on my screen. But anyway, I will see you in the next SEO BS and the next episode. But so stay tuned, like everything below, follow, and the future is coming here to give you some great information, to give you some information that gets your business results without all the SEO bullshit, without all the SEO BS, marketing BS, digital marketing BS. So you yourself, your business can get ranking. You yourself, your business can get results. So that's the key here. And I'll see you in the next episode.